Hello everyone and welcome to Unveil HQ. Today's video is of dire importance. This goes into detail about what the UN has planned for the future of the United States of America. They cover land grabs, social credit scores, and allowing the UN to be the regulator of artificial intelligence. Check it out.
21, Agenda 2030. And we're here now. These are the last pieces to put in place to turn on a global governance machine, isn't it?
Yeah, there's no question about that whatsoever. We've been warning about this. Well, you've been warning about this for many, many years, going way back. We've really ramped things up since we started talking about the Great Reset in 2020. And the other side has as well. They've pushed their foot on the accelerator. They're going as fast as they possibly can now.
Trump, isn't it?
Of course it's Trump. I think there was a very clear plan that they were slowly moving towards this exact model for the future. Barack Obama, they thought they were in great shape. They thought they had turned the corner. They believed Hillary Clinton was easily going to win, and it was going to be 16 straight years of slow movement. And then you had Donald Trump, the hand grenade in the room.
Screw it all up.
Screwed the whole thing up, and now they're not taking any chances.
So let's talk about the Pact for the Future, because there's three votes that are happening. By the way, I was just invited to attend and be there in the room.
I'm so
at
jealous.
the UN. Oh my gosh, I don't know if I can handle all the evil. But this is a big deal.
Yes.
Tell me about the three pacts.
So there are three international agreements that are going to be voted upon. One is called Pact for the Future. All of them come from our common agenda, which is something we've been talking about for the past 2 or 3 years.
What's so crazy? No one on earth outside of the elites have talked about it.
No. And I don't think it's a mistake that they scheduled all of this to happen just a couple months before the election. That's not a mistake. They want to get this in at the last moment. So Pact for the Future, I think this is the worst of the three potentially. Essentially what it does is it includes all sorts of vague socialistic language, things like that. But then there are some things in there that are really troubling. Member states under this agreement would say that they're going to put policies into place to have ESG, social credit scoring, in banking so that they can impose left-wing values through the financial system. There's a promise for member states to have universal access to sexual and reproductive health for women.
Oh my gosh.
And then they cite these other two agreements, one of which very specifically defines that as including abortion. So that's part of this. Probably the most insane part of it is a call for what they're calling an emergency platform. An emergency platform is something that the UN Secretary General asked for as part of our common agenda.
What is an emergency platform?
What it is essentially giving the UN Secretary General, in the event of a quote unquote global shock, which he gets to define unilaterally, all sorts of vague powers to deal with the ramifications of the shock, no matter where it is in the world.
Here's my theory lately is they're putting all these things in, but Americans, if that ever happened, Americans would not follow. But America will be so poor, so dismantled, that it won't be able to stand up for itself. And these guys will have a global army that will fight for that. And so, I mean, Boeing will be out. They've destroyed everything, or are in the midst of destroying it right now.
Right.
I mean, this is so well played and so planned.
Yeah, without a question, without a doubt. And the emergency platform, what makes this really crazy is he would be able to institute this on his own, define what a global shock is essentially on his own, according to his own report, his own request to the United Nations. And then there would be a finite period of time where this global shock would need to be dealt with, and penalties could be issued to countries that are not compliant. But then at the end of that finite period, he gets to unilaterally decide whether to renew the period over and over and over again. So it's as though we're voting on an emperor, essentially, is what's going on here. It's absolutely incredible. And this is just one of the three agreements. There's two others that they're looking at. One is the Declaration on Future Generations, which has all this, crazy, they're creating a new office, essentially, that's responsible for trying to get young people more involved in the United Nations and stuff like that. That's terrifying. Vague promises about battling climate change and member states making commitments to...
They don't build a separate office and then not have big plans.
Yeah, my favorite...
Sounds vague, but they know what it's for.
Without a doubt. And one of my favorite promises in it is, quote, eliminate all forms of persistent historical and structural inequalities, including by acknowledging, addressing, and remedying past tragedies and their consequences.
Oh my God.
Which, of course, is a catch-all to do anything.
Anything.
Yeah, anything
to
at all.
anybody at any time.
Exactly.
Give me the last one.
So the last one is the Global Digital Compact. This one is, I think, in the long run, the most dangerous. Essentially, what it would do is try to elevate the United Nations to be the global regulator of emerging technologies, especially artificial intelligence.
Oh my gosh.
With the idea being that we need to embed left-wing social values into artificial intelligence to make sure that it's not promoting hate speech or, opposing social justice, whatever it is, right? That's a huge part of it. They also have all of these propaganda protocols and mechanisms that are in it. For example, there's a commitment in here to say, strengthening independent and public media, and supporting journalists and media workers. They're talking about financially. So you're talking about getting money from the United Nations to say the things the United Nations wants you to say. Provide, promote, and facilitate access to and dissemination of independent, fact-based, timely, targeted, clear, accessible, multilingual, and science-based information to counter mis- and disinformation. They want to have a group within the United Nations that is going to be responsible for deciding what is misinformation and what isn't.
It worked out so well with Goebbels.
Oh, how about the WHO and COVID-19? That wasn't even that long ago. I mean, it's absolutely incredible. And most of the Global Digital Compact is about AI and how do we design AI to make sure that it's, on our side, promoting our values, is working for everyone in their minds.
I don't know about you all, but as an American, I don't believe the UN should have a say in the way that we live our lives. Let me know what you think in the comments below.